Okay, so I'm going to create a new sheet, and we're going to use this sheet to do a waterfall chart. Okay, remember waterfall chart that in one of your questions in the storytelling book, there was one, you remember that? So there you start with one bar for the initial value, and then the additions and subtractions are shown, not the ending value, but only the additions and subtractions, and then you have the final value at the end. Okay, so that's a waterfall chart. Usually the x-axis for waterfall chart would be time, some form of time, but not necessarily. No, theoretically speaking, it can be anything, as long as you're talking about ups and downs in a particular measure. Okay, so suppose we want to look at profit, right? Whether the profit is going up or down in over a time interval. Okay, so here we will bring in order date to column. Okay, and I want to filter only 2012 and 2013 because that's where the ups and downs are somewhat visible and we will be able to see it. Okay, so that's the reason why I want to use these 2 years. So I'm going to bring in order date to filter, okay, and then filter in only 2012 and 2013. Okay. Now there is one more thing that we have to do, and that is, okay, we're going to use this month, okay, as the time unit on the x-axis. Okay, so you will see that there is a bunch of time scale, and then the same thing repeated here as well. So what's the difference between these time scales and these time scales? Okay, we will have more to talk about that a little later. For now, okay, the first set is discrete. Okay, so it means, okay, each will be like a bucket. Okay, so what is the total here? If you're at the year level, what is the total for the year? If you're at the quarter level, then all the quarters are added up. Quarter 1 is one bucket, quarter 2 is one bucket, and so on. So it's discrete is when you will have blue pill. Now that one is continuous, where 1 quarter from 1 year and another quarter from another year are not put in the same bucket like in discrete. Okay, in discrete those quarters will all be in one single bucket because they are all quarter 1, whereas here it is continuous. So continuously what changes take place in the measure, and we will talk more about this a little later. But for now, since this is a waterfall chart and we want time on the x-axis, we have to make it continuous. So you go from one particular point in time, starting from one point in time and ending in another point in time, and in between what are the ups and downs. That's what we want to see. Okay. All right, so now we filtered out just 2012 and 2013, and then we bring in profit to row. Okay. So now we have a time series of profit, and the line represents what the actual profit was in each of these different months. Okay, this is just a line graph of profits. So we need to take this and convert it into a waterfall chart. So for that, the first thing to do is to convert this into a running total. So instead of each point being the individual profit of that particular month. So, this is profit for the month of order date January 2012. So, this is for the next month and the next month and so on. Okay, there are individual months. Instead, we want a running total. Okay, so which means the first month is the actual first month value. The second month is added on to the first month value. So, second point will be month 1 and month 2 together. The third point will be month 1, month 2 and month 3 combined. So, it is cumulative. Okay. And to convert to a running total, it is pretty easy. You have to click the down arrow and there is quick table calculations and running total. Okay. And of course, you can, if you go to add table calculations, you can do it that way too. Okay, so this one is a quick access. Okay. So now we have the cumulative. So waterfall chart should be like in the first point there should be a bar, and then the second point there should be a bar from where the first bar leaves off to where the second bar should end. Okay. So that kind of chart can be constructed by changing the marks to Gantt chart. Gantt chart, what Gantt chart would do, in a Gantt chart there are several varieties of Gantt chart, but here Gantt chart will put a bar. Okay, at each point there will be a bar. Okay, and that bar, okay, you can the width of the bar is immaterial. Just for visibility, if you think that the bar should be a little bit larger, wider, that will make it look better. You can do that. But it is the height of the bar which should represent the change in profits. Okay, so that would then be a waterfalls chart. The waterfall charts, the bars represent the changes that take place from one time period to another time period. So if you say Gantt bar, so now you have the end points of each time period, okay, is plotted with a line, right? So this is the end point of the first month. This is first and the second month combined. This is the first, second and third combined. The end point is what is plotted as a line. Now you can use the size button to increase the width if you like. Okay. So okay, let's put the width there. So again, remember, width is immaterial here. Width is not of concern. It's only aesthetics in terms of width.